Today I'm going to be taking a look at the Einherjar for Death Fields by Wargames Atlantic. Okay, so here we have the Death Fields box, and this is the Einherjar Space Viking Dwarves. On the back, it explains what's happening. Death Fields is going to be a game from Wargames Atlantic, but at the moment the game itself doesn't exist. They're putting together the actual fighters on the ground from a variety of nations and time periods. So you can see the sort of Napoleonic-esque Les Grognards squaring up against the Einherjar. You can make 24 warriors with weapons like standard rifles, grenade launcher, plasma, flame, shotguns, and even axes and shields. So let's have a look at the sprue. Bit of light on it. Too much glare for the box. So as you can see, you get a half sprue, as they call it, with 3 miniatures, and then you get 8 of these in the box to make your 24. Is that right? Sounds about right. You can see here we have 3 different bodies. We have weaponry, so here is our plasma with a big coil on top, big boxy looking thing. Flamer. We have an axe. I like the axe design. It's got that pierce look that you would see on sort of modern camping axes, or even sort of ones for mountain climbers, to keep the weight down. We have a second axe. We have a dagger. We have some pouches and accoutrement. There is a transmitter. We have this shield with the sort of crescent parts taken out. And then we have our standard weapons here. So these are your rifles. And then we also have this big combat shotgun. Head-wise, if we have a look, you can see there's a few with almost that Imperial officer's cap from Star Wars, which I'm a big fan of. You have a sort of robust sci-fi helmet with and without goggles, and then we have a few here that look like they are sci-fi versions of sort of Viking helms. So even this guy doesn't have a beard. How modern and dwarven is he? See most of the details on the front of the sprue, but you can see there is stuff on the reverse of the shield. So there we have it. Oh, and before we go, little furry collars. So I've made up 6 just to show a bit of variation. Now they don't come with bases, you can base them whatever way you want. So I imagine most people will be able to do a sort of a 30mm round or a 25 round, something like that. So that's what I've done. And I've made 3 with the furry collars and the Viking-esque helmet to give that sort of space Viking feel for your dwarves. So they're wrapped up against the cold. These have got rifles and hand weapons, or in the case of this gentleman, hand weapon and shield. Build's relatively easy. The furry collar sits down on the shoulders, so it's easy to do. You don't have to worry about it sort of locking in place, it just rests there. I did put it on before I put the heads on, so I hadn't positioned somebody in turning to look and not being able to get the collar on, because that would have annoyed me. I do like this hand where it's sort of, he's not holding it up ready to shoot or even in a position where he can be firing it. He's got it across his body as if he's, you'd often see special forces or footage of trained military or police with the gun down the way, so it's a second form of safety, I suppose. If it goes off, it's going to hit the dirt and not one of your friends. Then we have 3 without the colours and with the sort of more sci-fi style helms on here. So there's a member of ZZ Top rocking a plasma gun. These have sort of 45-degree or 90-degree-esque handles on them where they plug in to hold it. So just gluing one arm on first and then marrying it up is fairly easy. The flamer uses a similar idea. And finally we have, rocking the combat shotgun, the Imperial Officer. I do like that hat. Bit like a forage cap, but slightly more tall. Not quite pointed. Armour panelling over the top of sort of combat fatigues. A lot of the contact points were on elbows, which are going to be flat or hidden, or on pieces of the armour. So there's a slight seam line or mould line running around the body, but it's not major. It's plastic, it'll clean easily enough. But it was easy to get to all of the pieces to make the miniatures without having to worry about cutting detail off, which is always a concern when you're trying to get in, is where things will actually be on the sprue. But these came off quite nicely and give a terrific result. There we go, 24 Sci-Fi Dwarves from Wargames Atlantic. You can use them in Deathfield or Dead Zone or Warpath or as an alternative 40k army. Really the choice is yours. Nice sculpts, nice variety in there. You should be able to do well with these if Space Vikings is your thing.
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.